Welcome back. Happy Veterans Day weekend. As a veteran, I love this holiday because it is the one holiday of the year that I get to remind my mom that I am the coolest kid she has because no other kid in the family has a national holiday. And in celebration of that, I wanted to take this video and talk about some of the unique challenges and things and circumstances that I see that veterans deal with that normal people don't, and things you probably don't think about. So, taking a step back, right? If you think about young people when they join the military, and I say young because they're usually like 18. I was 20, you know what I mean? You're a kid, you graduate from high school and you join the military. If you're enlisted, obviously, officers, I know. But those enlisted kids they join, their job is to go fight a war. It is not to think about money, it is not to worry about money. No one in basic training teaches you what to do with money. In fact, when I got to my unit, one of the first things they said in like the whole onboarding into your unit was absolutely do not go buy a car until you talk to your supervisor, your team leader, squad leader, whatever, and have them help you buy a car. And it sounds ridiculous to say go ask dad to help you buy a car. You feel like a grown adult, you made it through basic training, you're here, you're on your own. Why do you need this person's help? Well, perfect example, I was sitting down at a 24-hour guard with one of the guys that worked for me. We drove the same car, Mazda 3 stick shift, fun little car. His car payment was literally double what mine was because he was 18 when he joined. He got out. He went to buy the first car he could. He had no credit. And there are car dealerships around bases that do predatory lending practices to these new privates that show up and they want a car and they know that the kid doesn't know any better and they take advantage of him. His interest rate on that car was like 12 or 15%. It was absolutely insane. So I'm not making this stuff up. I'm not trying to be mean to the veterans, but like no one ever taught you and no one ever taught me when I was in, right? And no one ever walks you through it and says, dude, this is what an interest rate does. This is how it's going to affect you. This is how you save money. This is how you budget. This is how you whatever. No one helps you with that. And then the military puts you in the barracks. They give you a house so you have no rent payment. They tell you to go to the chow hall so you have no food payment. They cover all your benefits so you don't have that. You get paid, I mean, they say you get paid like nothing, but you don't have any bills. So you literally don't get to learn or experience or figure out how to budget or figure out how to do any of this stuff because they cover everything for you and then they pay you. And then you go get a car and a cell phone and those are pretty much all your bills. So from lack of experience of learning and no one teaching you to not getting to actually do it, how are you supposed to learn? How are you supposed to have any of this like knowledge of what to do and And then you deploy and you literally can't buy anything or do anything. I mean, I shut down my phone, I shut down everything. My insurance, everything. No bills, zero, right? So then I'm getting paid more on top of it. Then we got back and you had all this money in the bank. And I'll never forget being at a party and one of my buddies goes, and it was like a couple years after we got back from Iraq. And one of my buddies goes, dude, this guy still got all of his money from deployment in a savings account. What an idiot. The guy was the smartest one there. We were the idiots, making fun of him for being smart with his money because we literally didn't know better. Then this thing happens where you get out of the military and all of a sudden you have a rent payment, an insurance payment, benefits payments, food. Now you've got to spend so much more on food than you ever have in the past. And everything goes sideways. And no one ever taught you how to do it. And this is one of the things that I see very often, especially with new veterans, like they just got out of the military or people who are still in because again, their job is to go fight the war, not do money, right? And so it's trying to navigate all of that stuff. And a lot of people, if no one's ever taught you and you don't know how are you supposed to know? And then people blame them for it, and you mix in this fun thing about being in the military and being big and tough and you're a badass, so you can't ask for help, so you never ask for help. And then what? Then you get nowhere. Now I do want to take a second because I did promise that at some point in this video I would give up the code to get a free game planning session with me. It is Vets Day 11B. That's the code, all caps, VETSDAY 11B. Because I was 11 Bravo. That's why. So that'll get you a free game planning session with all the other stuff that I said in my Instagram post. But to finish this up, I mean, guys, I'm a proud veteran. I learned a lot of things while I was in. I learned how to lead people, how to be tough and compassionate and still lead and motivate people and deal with A-type personalities that are really hard to deal with in the infantry. But one thing I did not learn about was how to manage money. That came in business degrees and that sort of thing afterwards. I grew up in a family where both of my parents did finance, so I had a leg up on a lot of the guys that were around me. I would talk to them about investing and they had no interest. And why would you have interest? When you retire from the military, you get a pension for the rest of your life. You don't need to worry about investments, right? They cover everything for you. And that is fundamentally the hard part. And the tricky part with veterans is that you go in as a kid, you come out as an adult, and you didn't learn anything about money to do adulting, and then you have to do it all of a sudden one day, and it all hits you at once, and you're such a man you can't ask for help, so you just dig yourself further and further into debt. And I'll tell you, if you know somebody that is in or is like newly transitioning out, there are a lot of resources. You can Google those. But if they're really looking for like that personalized help and that sort of thing, I'm more than happy to help. I love helping my brothers out. So tell them to give me a call. And otherwise, have a great weekend. Enjoy the holiday.